My name is Jeanine Shea. I'm a physics doctoral student at the University of Mainz, and specifically I study soft matter physics, and I work with computer simulations in soft matter physics. I'm originally from the US. I lived very close to Washington, D.C. Until I moved to Mainz to complete my doctoral studies. I have a double major in French and physics, and I spent a semester abroad studying in France. My goal essentially is to try to make computer simulations of physical systems more efficient. We'll take the example system that I'm working with, or one that is very close to it, is that you have essentially thinking of it as just a ball immersed in a bath of liquid. And I specifically work with that in a bath of active particles. So rather than just being like a bath of water, instead it's a bath of, for example, bacteria. And what you can see is these white particles, they are the bacteria, so the active particles, and then that brown larger particle, that's the immersed colloid, or the passive particle. And you can see that there are tons of these white particles. And so the goal of the coarse graining that I'm doing is that we can ultimately eliminate that motion so we don't have to monitor so much, and we just know how to represent the behavior of the colloid in that bath. In terms of doing research, I've also been very fortunate because, I can do all my research remotely. Generally, most of my time is spent sort of debugging code. That's the main thing that when you're working in computer simulations you do. Then reporting those results, figuring out what they mean physically, and discussing them with my advisor, and then ultimately that leads to putting them together in a paper. I'm really interested in science communications because I think that it's something that, in my experience, it's really hard to communicate, but it's so essential to communicate. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do after graduating. I know that something that I really enjoy doing is communicating with people, and so that's what's led me to this science communications, but it can also come in the form of teaching. So that's why I haven't ruled out academia or becoming a teacher, not in academia, but just in general. What I really love about Mainz is the fact that you can walk to get everywhere. Everything is within walking distance, within arm's reach. I love living so close to the Rhine. I cannot describe exactly why I love so much just like watching the water and just being in that vicinity. But to me, it's so peaceful and enjoyable to just watch that area. After my PhD, I think I would like to stay in Europe. I'm not entirely sure whether that will lead me to stay in Mainz or Germany. That's sort of more up in the air to me, but I just find myself in general happier since I've been here, and I found that as well when I studied abroad in France. I was also happier in France, which is what eventually led me to do my PhD abroad. I have now a couple people that I would consider friends who work at the cheese store because, we went there often enough that we realized that we had things in common, we enjoyed talking, and then we became friends through that. When you're in university, you can get into sort of a university bubble and then not meet other people from outside. So I think that it's a really nice way to meet people from outside, and it's a really natural way to do that.